Man, a wild, so many wild tour stories, man. Tour is like a circus, you know what I'm saying? It's you know what I'm saying? You're on the road. It's a different, crazy experience every single night with a bunch of crazy people, man. I remember the wildest things happen, man. Like girls throw a lot of bras and panties on stage and stuff like that, but sometimes they'll write notes in them and stuff. And this one time, we were sweeping up all the bras after a show, and this one had a phone number in it. I think one breast had one phone number and the other had another phone number or something. And my camera guy, one of my camera guys, he called the number, FaceTimed her or something, she picked up, you know what I'm saying? Fast forward the rest of the night, as the story was told the next day over coffee, you know what I'm saying? Apparently a big film was made, but you know what I'm saying? That's what happens on the road stays on the road, man. So, you know, write them numbers in the bras and you never know what might happen, man. Craziest industry party, man, it's an Oscar party and everybody is there. And I'm just tripping out, man, because I look at these people like, yo. And this was my first time around. I hadn't met any of them yet. So I see Leo walk in. I'm like, yo, that's Leo, you know, with a supermodel on his arm in a red dress. He's looking like, you know, the cleanest cat ever. Johnny Depp walks in, like Ellen, you know what I mean? Is just right there, fucking, you know, like everybody you could ever imagine. And man, like Puff, Madonna, everybody, bro. And I'm like, I'm over by the DJ, Snoop's DJing, and he's like, what's up, nephew, da 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 da. And then Mick Jagger is just there dancing and he's smoking and he just hands me his joint. And I'm just like, for sure, I'm smoking with Mick Jagger. And I'm like, bro, this is so many. Like, where am I right now? How did life become this? Crazy. And then I did LSD and the night was just wild. Crazy when you start going overseas, you know, it just always baffles me how like, you're all the way on the other side of the earth and like people know your music, you know? So we're in Amsterdam, we had smoked and we're like chilling at this park and these girls trip out like, oh my God, it's him, you know? But they were tripping off mushrooms. So they thought that they couldn't tell what was real or not. I'm like, yeah, it's us, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and like end up coming to the show that night and they were hella cool, whatever. But I could just imagine that from her perspective of like, are the shrooms just like really getting to me? I'm just chilling on the grass, just chilling here, and then geez, like right here, you know what I mean? But I'm always like just grateful and always still surprised to this day, you know, especially countries that don't speak English as their first language. I remember the first time riding in an Uber in Paris and my song comes on the radio, you know, and they introduce it in French. And I only knew, you know, that my song was about to play, but it was, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, that's wild. Here's a wild tour story from really, really, really early on, man. One of the first times we were ever on a bus, you know, making no money, playing these tiny little shows, just doing whatever we had to do to get there, man. One of the first tours I was ever on a bus. You know, buses are expensive, man. You dream of that stuff. You see pictures and videos of rappers on buses and everything, you know what I mean? But then it comes down to the business, you're like, yo, that costs what? You know, and we were barely making anything on the first tours, you know? Oftentimes, like, a bunch of people, you know what I'm saying, in one hotel room piled in doing whatever we had to do, staying at the worst hotels, you know, or damn near like on friends' floors if we knew people in the city and stuff. So we're on this bus and it's a little janky. It's like an entry-level tour bus, you know? And I remember our bus broke down in the middle of the night. So luckily, one of the other artists on that tour was like not far from us, so we all piled onto his bus. And we're riding to the next city on his bus, and it's, you know what I'm saying, we're just like sitting anywhere we can. Everybody piled in. Imagine a bus full of, you know what I'm saying, 2 whole crews. And we stopped a couple hours before we got there, and I'm like, you know, I wake up, I'm like, where are we? Why are we stopped? And the driver goes, your brother needed to shit. And I'm like, no, not my brother, because my little brother was on tour working for me at the time. I'm like, no, it couldn't be him. He wouldn't stop the whole somebody else's bus. He was on the side of the road in the bushes or some shit. I had to go, man. Couldn't wait to embarrassing stuff, man. You know, that's tour. Not to throw him under the bus, you know.